Hey, 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 oh fuck. Hey, 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 I was chillin', fresh out of class feeling, self-expression in the purest form, coming straight out the motherfucking streets, yeah, putting stains in your sheets, take a trip to the mountains, make your bitch drip like a fountain. Oh shit, I wasn't gonna start that. Okay, we'll do another round. Yeah, welcome to the what the fucking ripple effect, motherfuckers. Okay, that was pretty shitty right now. That wasn't too tight, but I was just kind of like free-flowing, trying not to give a fuck too much about how it sounded, so I think I did a great job of doing that. And fuck yeah, guys, welcome back to the motherfucking Ripple Effect episode fucking 4 now, I think, which is fucking phenomenal. Like, I'm fucking sticking to it. I'm fucking not giving up on this bullshit that I'm doing, you know? It's fucking fun, man. I love this shit. Being able to be persistent and consistent with, you know, and sticking to the motherfucking plan, man. Like, I have a plan for this podcast. I'm gonna keep it going throughout fucking forever. I'm gonna post 52 episodes in 2023. I almost forgot what year it was, honestly. Yeah, so welcome to the motherfucking Ripple Effect, motherfuckers. My name is WatR, and I produce music. I'm a Norwegian music producer. I've been producing for about 10 years now, and yeah, check out my music if you want. It's a lot of different stuff. I've made a lot of different music under different names, and if you guys want royalty-free music, I got you. So, you know, there's that. A little bit of a plug in the beginning here, but we gotta get straight into it. I don't really know what to talk about right now, and as always, I think I always start with that. I don't really know what to talk about, and that's kind of like that's getting old, you know. I need to start with something different soon, but yeah, I'm trying to just bring the energy right now because I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I didn't really feel like getting into this today, and I had a lot of resistance. I just been feeling down today, you know, when you just have one of those days where you just feel wonky as a motherfucker. This is one of those days where I've just been feeling that kind of like that poking, you know. There's this feeling I get sometimes which is like a poking in the chest, and it's just like just reminding you that you're alive, and kind of like reminding you, or it's just like constant reminder of the weight of existence, you know what I mean? And it's like it's just poking at you and just like making sure that you don't feel good, you know. And it's just like fuck, man. And I'm trying to just let go, man. I did a long ass meditation. I put on like a guided meditation for letting go and like connecting with the divine and shit like that. And man, lately I just been so up in my head that it's just ridiculous. And I think that's kind of like the effects of sitting alone a lot and not going out too much with people around, and not maybe having a job per se, and just kind of like being stuck in this little room. And you know, the walls are kind of like getting closer and closer together, right? And I've been out surfing this week though, so that's been really good. I was out surfing a couple times. I was actually surfing today, which was really nice to just get out in the water. But it's cold as fuck though, and I got like this weird. I think I've been talking about it on the podcast before, but like my skin has become very sensitive to the cold. So yeah, but whatever, like it's been fucking awesome though, like surfing again. It's been so nice. Although actually on, I think it was Monday, it was my first surf this week, and it was pretty heavy. The waves were pretty big, and there was like short periods. If you don't know what periods are, it's like when there's a swell in the water, you kind of want them to be a long period. And what the periods are is like the time between the waves, kind of, or like it's actually like the time it takes from the first part of the hump of the swell to the last part, to like from the beginning to the end of the hump. That's like the period, and you want those to be long, because like out in the middle of the ocean, when it's like proper groundswell, those could get really fucking long, you know. So you want them to be as high as possible, and I think it was like 10 seconds or something, and that's kind of like, it's kind of short actually. You want them to be like closer to 20. So it was kind of like hard to get out. I actually struggled with getting out, which is like, it's kind of rare. And lately, you know, I've been having kind of a bad stamina, after Christmas, and I've been sick for a while, not being able to surf and stuff like that. So, been kind of like just eating and sleeping and fucking, you know what I mean? Like, so haven't really had that much time to work on, or I haven't really exercised. I just been lazy, pretty much. That's what I'm trying to say. I've been really lazy. So my stamina is kind of like down, and this week I kind of got hit with that, like fuck. And there's always something, man. It's always fucking something, you know what I mean? Like, once you start focusing on one thing, something just gets neglected. It's just like the rule. Like, you can't tie every rope. I just made that expression up, by the way. I don't fucking know. But like, you can't you can't have the best defense on all fronts. You can't defend all the fronts at once. And so sometimes you gotta just focus on whatever you think is most important, and you're just gonna neglect something. And lately that's been exercise. So this week I've been getting into more exercise. I've been doing more like cardio stuff though. I did like burpees, and dude, burpees are fucking heavy, dude. Like, that shit will get ya. That shit will fucking get ya. Like, that shit just like, dude, I was getting into them and I was doing them, and I was like, I don't know how many burpees I did, man, but I just kept doing burpees until my body physically couldn't do any more burpees. And dude, that shit is so exhausting. And then I went for a run with Lucky, our dog, and I was just drained. I came back in the studio just feeling like, it was weird. I was feeling absolutely horseshit after that workout. I was just like so drained and just feeling weird. And so, yeah, I feel like I kind of like regressed a little bit mentally, or like spiritually ish. I feel like I've kind of like become more in my head lately, and more just like my thoughts are just kind of like sporadic. I'm kind of like I have a little bit of like a foggy brainish. I'm kind of not like super bad. I don't do any drugs or alcohol or anything like that. So I think my mind is pretty like clear compared to a lot of minds. But it's just lately it's been, and I'm not saying that I'm fucking like better than anyone. Okay, I'm just saying like that's what I am like. I've really been training on keeping my mind clear, I really dedicated myself to trying to keep my mind focused and working on having an attention span. But lately, I just feel like I've been kind of like going backwards a little bit. And I don't really judge myself like that. I don't really care like if I'm going up or down. I don't really try to, I try to not really judge myself that bad. I try to take the win in every situation. But sometimes, man, I just like feel like I've kind of become more in my head. And so I want to get more into meditation again, and I want to take more action towards like getting out of my head, really. And so that's kind of something I want to work on a lot more, because like being in your head just fucking sucks, man. It's just like it takes so much energy, it just drains you, and you don't want to be in there too much. You don't want to be in there all the time. But like, if you're in your head, don't judge yourself though. That's just gonna make it worse. So I'm not judging myself, but I'm just like kind of like observing. I'm observing what's happening in my day-to-day life, and trying to just like, and I've been feeling I guess I've been feeling a bit more reactive as well as of lately. I just been kind of like I'm just not at my best, I suppose. But like, I feel like it's weird, you're never at your best when in the moment. I feel like it's never like you don't you the grass always the greener on the other side, you know what I mean? You never like, it seems like we humans, we can never be content where we are. It's like not possible for us. We're always looking for like the next thing and trying to feel some different way and trying to feel the ultimate way. I guess that's what humans are chasing, and that's why people are addicts. But you know, we're always chasing a high of some sort, it feels like. And you know, humans aren't really afraid of certain things. Like we aren't really afraid of socializing, or you know, like people with social anxiety, they aren't really afraid of socializing. Or maybe some dudes, like, they aren't really afraid of approaching that girl. What they are afraid of is how they'll feel when they do that thing that they're afraid of. So you know, getting into our emotions and really connecting with our emotions is like the key to resolving a lot of these issues that we have. And I feel like lately I just been having issues with trying to connect with my emotion, that I've just been too much in here, and I can physically feel it in my head, that my head is like, I have like a underlying headache of just like, because I've just been here too much, you know. So I've really been trying to get more into my body and trying to just like chill the fuck out and just like vibe with it and exercise and stuff like that. But it's like stuff that happens over time. It's like accumulated, you know, like momentum accumulates. And once you've been in your head for a long enough time, it's gonna be a lot harder to get out on a regular basis, I feel like. So you gotta work on those things, and you gotta like work on it every day. You gotta try and take actions that, because like, especially in this industry, man, like music making and stuff, like you can't be in your head all the time. Or you can, but it's like, there's probably a lot of producers that are a lot of like very logical in their head and stuff like that. But I feel like if you want to be an artist, and if you want to have a good time as an artist, you definitely do want to have that creative, free-flowing feeling of just being in the zone, being in the moment, and just like enjoying life as it is right now. And that's really what I think makes the great music too. It's just like when you're flowing and you're just vibing with it and doing it just because, you know what I mean? Like you don't want to be in your head all the time, dude. Like, fuck. But like, you can't always choose, you know. You can't always like just get out of your head like that. It takes some time, you know. And for me, that's meditation. Like, meditation has helped me so much. But it's like not just meditation, but the proper meditation, you know what I mean? Like the meditation where you kind of go into your you go into your past traumas and stuff that are running you, you know. Like you try and release the stuff that's holding you back, your blockades, your mental blocks and whatnot. And yeah, really just working on yourself too probably helps a lot. Like being fulfilled, being like feeling like you're happy with the way you're going, with what you're doing in life, I think probably helps a lot. And but yeah, man, lately I just been like freaking feeling like the walls are kind of caving in a little bit. I'm getting a bit tired of being in this studio, because it's like it's just not a very nice place to be. Like it's kind of like, it's not super bad though, but it's like, it's kind of like an old room, and it's kind of like very messy. I probably should clean up here a bit, like trying to reorganize stuff and a little bit like that, trying to make it a bit more inspirational to be in here, you know. I think that's probably gonna help a little bit. And so move some stuff around and stuff like that probably helps. And that also, like organizing and stuff like that, I feel like that kind of like, I kind of feel like it kind of releases some tension, you know, when you just clean your house or something like that. It just like releases the freaking, you know, the tightness, the tension. I feel like I can breathe easier after I kind of clean the house. And I feel like that's something like that every artist has. Like they fucking just they need everything to be like kind of on point before they feel like they can actually just breathe and do their thing, you know. So I really been feeling that. And yeah, so that's what's up. Been on the fucking TikTok grind lately though. God damn, that shit is weird and funny. And actually today I feel like I took like a big leap in the TikTok creation game. I actually made like a TikTok where I'm kind of like acting a little bit. I'm acting as my dad, and like he's talking to me like, what the fuck are you doing in your room all alone on a Saturday? And I'm like, I'm just making music. It's like, go out party with your friends. I'm like, I am the party. You're probably gonna see it on TikTok if you follow my shit. But I kind of want to get into more of that, like creative TikTok making. It's kind of fun. Like I want to be able to just like make more creative TikTok. It's kind of like Vines, you know what I mean? Like kind of create more like kind of like a sketch, you know, like it's fun. I like it. It's something to do, and yeah, I really enjoy that. So, and I'm trying to like, because right now there's gonna be like, I'm starting a new job, by the way. I didn't tell you guys this, but I just got a new job, so I'm going to be working as an electrician in the like tomorrow. I might start tomorrow, or I'm starting on Wednesday. I'm not really sure yet, actually. So I just sent a message. I haven't gotten back from me yet, so we'll see. Uh-huh. Vet ikke. Er det ikke? Jeg vet ikke. But she just pulled me straight out of my train of thought. What the fuck was I talking about? I don't know what the fuck I was talking about. What was I talking about? I don't fucking know. But whatever, dude. Like, but the thing is, though, like with music, I feel like, yeah, that's what I wanted to make like a TikTok about this too. But like music, you want to be able to enjoy the process of making the music, and you want to be able to, even if you know that you're never gonna make it, if you don't want to do it, if you knew you'd never make it, I feel like music isn't for you. And I think you need to find that thing in life where, like, if you knew you would never even make it in that industry or in that whatever you're doing, like if it's not gonna make you money or make an income, but you still want to do it, I think that's your fucking thing, man. That's where the goal is. And I feel like for a lot of producers, a lot of musicians or wherever, it's like, I feel like it's a lot about like getting that validation, getting that fame. And if you're doing it for those things, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. You gotta think, like, you gotta kind of try and take the perspective a little bit, like have the little bit of a bigger perspective on things, and realize that when you do actually make it, like, it's just gonna go on, man. Like, you still have to get back in the studio, you still have to make music. And some people are kind of thinking about music as like when they make, or when they're thinking about when they make it, like it's gonna be this big fucking thing, and everything's gonna solve itself for them, and it's just gonna be like this fucking amazing fucking thing that happens, and life is just gonna be fucking bliss from now on. But the truth is that you still have to do the work every fucking day, even after you blow up. Like, you're still gonna have to make music every single fucking day. And it's like, a lot of people don't consider this, I think, when they just start out, like, and when they have those aspirations, and when it's coming from that, and they don't really enjoy the process. Because, like, face it, like 90% of the time of a musician or music producer is spent in the studio, and if you don't enjoy that time, like 90% of your life is gonna be something you didn't enjoy. So I think you got to think about that stuff, and you got to kind of like try to let go of that desire for just fame, validation, and money, and kind of like think about the bigger perspective here. And what really music is all about is just giving something to the world. Like, when it comes from that frame, dude, when it comes from a frame of just giving for giving's sake, and you want to just give to the world from your higher self, that's when I think, like, that's where the magic happens, and that's where you just completely merge with the process and the love for the process itself. And that's really what it's all about, So yeah, for all the music producers out there, if you're doing it for the fame, validation, it's not gonna work out. It's never gonna work out. It's just it's not gonna happen. And I've been really, like, I think everyone needs to really dive deep with themselves, and really just like ask the scary questions to themselves, and trying to really dive deep into what is actually running them. I think I was getting a bit too far into this the last time, so I don't really want to take it too far this time. I want to kind of like keep it on a different topic, I guess. But yeah, music producers need to, or music producers need to really like reassess the why. You need to you need to understand the why of why you're doing things, and if you have a strong enough why, then the how is insignificant, and you're just gonna do whatever, because like you're gonna be able to do it forever, and you gotta know the why of the process. There was a really good book that I read. It's called Man's Search for Meaning, and I actually went out on like a solo trip to this little cabin out in the wilderness here in the Fulton Islands. I went on top of this mountain, and I was walking out there in the pouring rain on this solo trip, like this overnight trip. I wanted to actually do like a couple nights without any food. So I didn't bring any food with me, and I went out to this place and I brought my fishing rod because there was like big water where you could fish. Completely alone. Only thing I had a dog with me, and only food for the dog, no food for me at all. And I brought this book with me, and I didn't catch any fish, and I went to go sleep in this little hut. And it's like a hut that was like, it's made out of grass. It's super like weird, but it was actually really nice. But it's made out of like, it's made out of wood, and it covered the whole thing in grass. So it looks like the Teletubbies huts. Like it looks like it's just like it's a grass igloo kind of. It's really cool. So I was sleeping in this hut, and I had this book with me. It's called Man's Search for Meaning, and it's wrote by Viktor E. Frankl, who was a Holocaust survivor, who's also a psychologist. So what was really cool about this book was he was talking about the kind of experiences that he endured during the Holocaust, like the horrible fucking things that happened, and how he kind of like endured all of it because he had the strong enough why as to why he should survive and why he should make it back into the world again, because he just really wanted to finish his work. He wanted to bring his gift to the world, and that's what kept him alive. Like a lot of the Holocaust, the people who were in there, they kind of just, because like when you put into such a fucking bad fucking situation, most of the people, they just give up. They just don't see any meaning anymore when you're stripped of everything you have, and you're like just like a naked fucking soul, and you're treated like fucking shit and being whipped around. You're sleeping, you have no clothes on, you're fucking walking on your feet out in the fucking snow with no shoes on, because the shoes doesn't fit anymore, because like the blisters have gotten too fucking chunky, so your foot doesn't get into your fucking boot anymore, and then they don't give you a bigger boot or anything. Like if it doesn't fit, then you can't wear your boot, and they're just like carrying fucking railroad tracks in the winter out in Poland or whatever. And the fucking stories of that shit is just like so fucking brutal, dude. Like, and for a man to actually survive that and go through that without losing his will to live is actually pretty amazing. But that's how far that quote goes, like as to like, if a man knows his why, then he can endure almost anyhow. And I think that was actually him quoting Nietzsche, but I read it in that book, so that just reminded me of that book. But I was reading that when I was like in this little hut with no food, absolutely no food. I was fucking starving. But yeah, that's pretty wild experience reading that book. And I read the whole thing in a night there, and it was like pitch dark outside, and it was kind of like creepy because I was like reading about this Holocaust shit. And also I played a lot of like Nazi zombies and stuff like that, so like naturally my brain kind of goes towards like all sorts of creepy stuff. So that was a pretty wild experience, and I had to go in and out of the hut all the time too, because like Lucky needed to go out and piss and stuff like that. And when you go out of the hut, it's just like pitch black fucking everything. You're in the middle of the wilderness, and it's just like, that was fucking crazy. And if you never experienced that, you need to go do that, because that was fucking awesome. That was an eye-opener to me, and I felt like I walked back the next day, and I was like, I almost couldn't walk because I had absolutely no food in my system, and just fucking, fucking destroyed. And yeah, that was pretty wild. And I just went to the store straight away. I made myself like a sick meal. And eating food after a fast is like the most insane joyous thing ever. It's like so fucking good, dude. I remember I made like some eggs. I had some like blue cheese. I had some beans. I had some mushroom. And yeah, I was kind of just like craving like really good food, to like natural nice food. And so yeah, that's what's up. But yeah, what to talk about though? I've been feeling like my energy levels are freaking low today. Um, and like been feeling really like a lot of tension in my body today, and that's what I'm kind of like just trying to chill out and trying to work on that, trying to like just let it go, release the tension, trying to do a little bit of stretching and stuff like that. I probably should do some more stretching though. My body is stiff as fuck. But yeah, um, I've been trying to work on a sample pack. I'm going to be doing a lot more work on that going forward, but I want to do more sample pack work. So I want to take like drums, make a shit ton of drum loops, because I feel like that's kind of like a thing that's lacking in my productions, is like having a drum loop and having like different kind of drum loops that I can use for different purposes and just like slap them in there, and drums that would actually sound really good, because I feel like that's one of the most tedious processes when I'm making music and I just want to get an idea out ASAP. I kind of tend to just go to splice loops or something like that and slap them in there as placeholders. So I'm gonna do a lot more drum stuff and trying to like get some really good sounding drums, some good sounding drum loops and stuff like that. And the other day I actually took like I took like this field recorder, and I like recorded everything I had in here, like all the kitchen stuff. I made like kicks and stuff out of hitting the wall and stuff like that, and made like a big sample pack out of just like Foley stuff. And actually was inspired by to do that by Virtual Riot, because he just posted a video that was like all about drums, and so I was kind of inspired by that. So I want to do more of that, to like do like sample packs and stuff like that. I really enjoy the process of making sample packs, because it doesn't just benefit the community, but it also benefits me. Like I really love having like folders organized with like my own samples that I know that I've made, so like it feels like it's more me when I'm making like my own, when I'm making stuff out of my own samples and loops and stuff like that. So definitely gonna get into more of that, and I want to kind of like get into more like sound design stuff as well. Like I want to get better in Serum and making actual sounds and making dubstep sounds out of, and basses and stuff like that. I feel like that's kind of like that's like a place where I've been really lazy in music. I feel like it's too easy to just get like presets and stuff from other people and just kind of use that. But I want to get into the actual sound design itself and learning how to create sounds out of nothing, because I feel like that skill is just so valuable, and it's just so fun when you're able to create your own sounds on the spot like that. So I've been trying to learn a little bit of Serum, and I feel like I'm getting better, and I'm kind of like understanding a little bit what the different things are doing. But I think like the sound design is like a lot less, or it can be very complex, but I feel like it's a lot less complex than what it actually is. Like a lot, or what you make it to. Like I feel like a lot of people are kind of like scared of getting into sound design because they think it's just too difficult. But I think like most of the people are overthinking it at that point, because like you see all the pros, they're just doing different stuff and they don't really necessarily know what they're doing. They're just kind of like going into the plugin and just like fucking with parameters, just starting like fucking around with it. I think the kind of like pitfalls of like YouTube tutorials and stuff like that is like you kind of, because like a YouTube guy will tell you exactly how to make this and this sound. Like Skrillex he will tell you how to make the Skrillex yoink or whatever, And you, as a producer, you watch that video and you're like, oh, okay, you need to do exactly that and that and that and that. And how do I make this other sound? And you don't really know. And you think there's like, you have to follow a certain formula to get a certain sound. And it's kind of like, it makes you make the exact same sound as everyone else is using. And I think like what you need to, like, what not a lot of people should do instead is just actually just take the plugin, maybe like get into like a little bit of what the different stuff are doing, of course, but like just fuck around with it. Use some time, take some time. Don't be afraid of wasting a little bit of time, and just like fuck around with it and see what comes out of it, because that's just like original sounds is just like so much more interesting, you know, and it's gonna be that much better for your learning process as well. Like I really wish I would do a lot of more of that from the get-go, and like be experimental with sound design and stuff like that from the get-go. So that's one of the things I want to do a lot more, is getting experimental with sound design. And as I've had this hardware synth, this DeepMind 12, and I have barely gotten into it really. I just bought it for like a shit ton of money, and I just haven't really used it that much, and I haven't really gotten into how the different and programming sounds and stuff like that. I just been kind of like using the main sounds and then kind of like going and creating my own. But then like once I created one good sound, I kind of just been using that, you know. So I want to get into that more too, like designing analog sounds, yeah, fucking a bit more around with that. And yeah, heck yeah. I don't even know what else to talk about. I guess like I kind of feel like I have to talk a little bit about. I guess that I kind of like have this issue. So I'm gonna get into this right now. I'm gonna get fucking real right now, okay? I kind of have this issue where it's like I feel like I kind of have to show someone, myself or the world, that I can just keep talking and talking, because I feel like it's almost like silence is the enemy sometimes, you know what I mean? Like definitely a podcast though, silence kind of is the enemy, because you want to like keep that shit flowing. And this is kind of like practicing to keep talking and talking as well. But I feel like the best way to just keep talking is actually just being real, because like I've been thinking about I've been thinking a lot actually, but I've been thinking about like how, you know, thoughts, they just kind of like keep going no matter what. But actually vocalizing those thoughts is actually very difficult. Like if you ever try to just say whatever you're thinking, there's a filter there. There's a fucking filter there that you just, you know, it takes shit tons of practice to turn it off. And so that's kind of what I feel like this is a little bit about too, is like turning off that filter and kind of just like being unfiltered, being raw, being like taking your thoughts and just like straight sending them out to the world. And yeah, being more free flowing and in that kind of way, like kind of freestyling, you know. I've been getting a little bit into freestyling. I've been doing it in the car and stuff like that. And what kind of happens sometimes when you just like let go to the process and you just do it, you start spitting and fucking fire shit is gonna come out. But what happens is that when you're alone, it's a lot more easier than when there are people around, because once there are people involved in the process, like watching you, you're kind of like, or like most people at least, if you haven't ridden yourself of that, you're kind of like you get stifled, man. You get like in your head about what they are thinking about what you're doing, and it's weird. It's just weird. And I don't know why human psychology works like that, but I guess I kind of know actually. It's kind of, I think it's because like the tribal thing is that like if you're being too high value, you're being too free, that's potentially dangerous, and that can actually get you killed if it's with the wrong people. So I guess that's kind of like the psychology behind it. But it's kind of like it's an ungrounded fear, and it's a fear that it's not really like based in reality, and that won't happen in this society. And you know, we're very, very safe, you know. So it's just like a weird fear that we have, and I want to like kind of like it's kind of like it's a mental prison of some sort, you know. You want to be able to express yourself freely, and that's what I feel like that's what a lot of my life has been about, really. It's like breaking out of that fucking mental prison and being able to just express whatever you are freely and being comfortable with that. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to be fucking comfortable with expressing myself freely. I don't want to have those like weird anxieties about what people are thinking about me when I'm like expressing myself. And yeah, so that's been like, it's been a real pain for me, and it's a fucking big pain for a lot of people. It's just like the fucking weirdness of like feeling like you can't. Yeah, you just feel stuck. You just feel like you fucking can't open up, and it's just like hold you in place and making you feel like a fucking loser. And so yeah, I just kind of want to break out of that, like I don't want to be in that fucking matrix of just like holding back, you know what I mean? Like, I just want to fucking go, you know what I mean? I want to fucking express myself. I want to show who the fuck I am to the world, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to fucking hold back. Like, you got one fucking life, and you're gonna fucking die. You're gonna end up in a grave, and that's it, and all that life, you didn't enjoy it even because, like, you couldn't fucking tell people what the fuck you were even thinking about. Like, nobody fucking knew what you were thinking about all this time. You were just like kind of playing this little game of like, yeah, I hope you like me. Did I say the right thing? So yeah, you definitely want to break out of that. So that's, I don't know, I just went on a little tangent. I'm very like sporadic today. Like, my thoughts are very like everywhere, and I don't really have like a sense of guess you could say inner calmness. I don't really feel that calm per se. I feel kind of like frantic, a little bit like I kind of want to jump out of my own skin, kind of. But it sounds very dramatic when I say that, but I'm very like used to this feeling, and I'm very like, and I think a lot of people feel this way. At least I hope so. I hope I'm not the only one. But some days I just feel like I fucking want to jump out of my own fucking body and just like be somewhere else, and it's weird. But I've been trying to just like let go of that feeling and trying to just like enjoy whatever I feel right now. But yeah, definitely feel a lot of tension, and it's just like, it's just a weird space, and I'm okay with it. But I wanted to be real with it. I don't want to be like I don't want to be, because like when the sensations are as strong as they are right now, it's just like it feels weird not to say it. You know what I mean? It feels weird not to talk about it, and I feel like that's a lot of struggle that I have with when like socializing. I don't really have big problems with socializing, but I feel there's a certain weirdness about what you're not supposed to say and stuff. Like, I don't want to bring that energy out in a conversation with someone, but it's like it kind of feels weird because like both people are gonna feel it when you're in a conversation, and you're feeling weird, you're feeling anxious, or you're feeling just like wonky. Both people are gonna feel that shit, because whatever you feel, they will feel most likely. And it's like, it just feels weird not to talk about it. So I want to get better at just like expressing whatever is, because I feel like it always gets better when you're able to just like open up and tell what the fuck is up, especially like to close friends and stuff like that. And I was kind of like had struggles with that, and reaching out actually to my family and my closest friends. I've always been like very like kind of having this mask on, like, yeah, everything's all right, just feeling good and dandy, and yeah, I guess I just don't want to do that anymore. But that's been like something that's been going on for a long time, is working on this stuff, and I've gotten so much fucking better in the last few years at this stuff, and being real and being authentic and showing people my true self. But it's always like, you're always gonna try and hold back a little bit, I feel. So you're gonna kind of like fight that. And there's always like, cause there's this guy named Owen Cook. He's a fucking genius when it comes to like social dynamics, the psychology and stuff like that. Fucking genius guy. You gotta check him out if you're into this kind of stuff. But he talks about how like the derp states, like the states of just like zoning out and going into the autopilot. It's kind of like in the human biology to naturally tend towards zoning out completely and just like going into the autopilot, because like that's where you don't really use that much energy, but it's also the space where you don't get that much done, because like you're not fucking doing shit, you're just being lazy. And that's why it's so fucking hard to get to the gym when you're tired and you don't feel like it, or like motivate yourself to do something that you don't want to do, because like your natural instincts tends toward like saving energy. And so he has like this slogan, it's like a fight the derp, like you gotta fight the fucking derp. And the derp is just you going on autopilot, zoning out. Have you ever caught yourself just like, you sit your ass down to do some work, whatever it is, you just like see your hand just going towards the phone, you just pick it up and you start scrolling, or if you're on your computer and you see some kind of like you just go on YouTube without even thinking about it, and like that's the fucking derp, man. When you just go in autopilot and you just go towards whatever gives you the easiest achievable dopamine. And that's really a lot of what human suffering is coming from. It's just like this derp state, like we're always going towards this derp state, and you really you gotta work on some base level awareness to try and fight the derp. And so, and this is one of this, I keep saying this, it sounds like African, but this is one of the things, like this is one of the days, where it's like the most important to try and to like keep on top of things. I feel like when the pull towards the derp is the strongest, I feel that's when you gotta like be really aware of it and really stay on top, because that's the fucking days where you develop core fucking discipline, you know what I mean? And you develop willpower, and you can actually like level up a little bit. Like I feel like life gives you these opportunities that feels like they feel like they're, it feels like it's just like a punishment. It kind of feels like a punishment a little bit, but it's not. It's an opportunity, and it's an opportunity to fucking grow. That's like the difficult fucking days are your biggest fucking opportunities for growth. And it's just like which way you choose to deal with those days that's what's gonna determine like which way you're gonna go. You know what I mean? And like if you're focused on getting better in this life, that's the golden opportunities where you're actually able to level up, and they're gonna come, and they're gonna come like, at least for me it's been like at least a couple days every other week or so. Like I just feel wonky, I just feel weird, I just feel like, usually it's been in the weekends. For some reason it's the weekends. I don't know what it is about the weekends, but it's probably maybe something to do with like the urge to socialize or get on top of things, like I don't know, man. I don't fucking know, but I see this in a lot of people as well. Like self-sabotage usually comes on the weekends. And so, maybe it has something to do with like weekend is kind of like where you're supposed to go out, party, and say fuck it and take drugs. I don't know, but whatever it is, that's your opportunities. Fight the fucking derp. That's really what it comes down to. And I feel like this has been a really good day of self-reflection, some meditation, and just like staying on top of things through the fucking muddiness, the derp, and really fighting that derp. Yeah, really happy with that. And I think I'm gonna cap the podcast right now. We're at 44 fucking minutes. It goes so fucking fast when I just start talking. But yeah, this has been an awesome fucking podcast, guys. Fucking catch you guys in the motherfucking next one. And The outro. Yeah, gotta fight the dirt. Yeah, every day. On the corner we be laying the hay. Yeah, fight the dirt. It's been a ripple effect. See you guys on the next one.